worldwide is Music City, USA. Its legacy is built on one foundation: the art of the song. This is Words and Music. Now, here's your host, Harry Chapman.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for dropping by for this edition of Words and Music. Two great songwriters with us today. Tate. Annie, along with her husband Sam, have written some great songs. And Philip Coleman, who has a very unusual story about coming to songwriting the hard way. So it's good to have both of you with us, Annie.
Nice to be here. Good to see you again, Harry.
And we'll get to Philip's story in a minute, because you talk about a hard way to get to a songwriter. You've paid the dues, haven't you?
I'm still paying them.
Still paying them, that's right. Well, we're going to start with Annie, and between you and Sam, you've written so many hits and won so many awards with songwriting. Have you always, did you ever want to be an artist, or did you always want to be a songwriter?
Both, but I was living in California and singing in sort of 1980s rock hair bands,
right.
being a Pat Benatar, so to speak, and
right.
And met Sam out there, and I realized, well, I'm not going to sing in bars the rest of my life, and wanted to write, and I've written some songs, and met Sam, who'd already had some success, and he said, you need to be a songwriter, and the kind of songs you're writing would be perfect in Nashville right now, which was the Judds era,
right,
and became
right.
Garth Brooks, and what I was writing was kind of right for here, so actually, I did get a record deal. I was signed to RCA back when it was still RCA, out of LA, and so we moved out here. Mark Wright was supposed to produce me some singles on
Well, thank goodness you spent a lot more time songwriting with Sam, because one of the big songs, and I told you it's one of my favorites, was a big Reba hit, Somebody.
Yes.
Tell me about that song.
It was her 50-something number one. She's had so many number ones, and we wrote it with Dave Berg, who had just had an idea about, we all look for love somewhere. You never know where you're going to find it. You could be driving down the street and look over, and of course when you're single, that's what you think sometimes. Ooh, what if that was the love of my life right there in the next car? So we wrote that song, and at first it was cut by Mark Wells, and then sort of more toward the end of his
Career.
I don't want to talk badly about anybody, but when we found out Reba had cut it, they sort of hid it from us until the day she cut it, and then we were, of course, I was screaming when I found out Reba McEntire had cut that song, and we asked to go hear it before it was mixed. And the minute I heard her voice, that way she pedals into, I was like, oh, thank you, God. It sounded so awesome. And she has a way of making every song totally her own. And it was just wonderful. I even wrote a little script because I wanted her to be the waitress in the video. I thought, maybe this will help me get a single if I write a video script.
Would you do it for us, Somebody?
Yes,
okay.
This is Somebody. At a diner down on Broadway, they make small talk. And she brings his eggs and fills his coffee cup. He jokes about his love life, tells her he's about ready to give up. That's when she says, I've been there before, but keep on looking, 'cause maybe who you're looking for is somebody in the next car, somebody on the morning train, somebody in the coffee shop that you walk right by every day, somebody that you look at but never really see. Somewhere out there is somebody. Across town in a crowded elevator, you can't forget the things that waitress said. He usually reads the paper. Today he reads a stranger's face instead. It's that blue-eyed girl from 2 floors up. Maybe she's the one. Maybe he could fall in love with somebody in the next car, somebody on the morning train, somebody in the coffee shop that you walk right by every day. somebody that you look at but never really see. Somewhere out there is somebody. Now they laugh about the moment that it happened, a moment they both missed until that day, when he saw his future in her eyes instead of just another friendly face. And he wonders why it took so long when she was always there at that diner waiting on somebody in the next car, somebody on the morning train, somebody in the coffee shop that you walk right by every day, somebody that you look at but never really see. Somewhere out there, yes, somewhere out there is somebody.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you for doing that for us, Annie.
Thank you.
Annie Tate and Philip Coleman, our guest on Words and Music. And we have more great songs for you and stories right after this.